Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Today, I've not done like anything. Letter from Maple. Dear Steven, how are you? Had something important to tell you but I completely forgot what it was. I was deciding which stationery to use. Oh well, I'll write later. Am I right? Maple! I'll just toss from the mailbox. It works out. Okay, I can't say I've done precisely nothing. I've played a little Eve. That's really about it. I suppose I also did my workout, which did teach me a thing. I thought that the fitness boxing game reset on Monday for a new week, which I know it is here, but IRL it's Sunday. So I was like, alright, well I've got, you know, I got a bit more to push my week into definitively higher than last week. No, it's a new week. Oh, Steven, isn't this perfect picnic weather? So what's on your mind? Let's talk. That's right, I want to share something with you. Sometimes you find a perfect apple mixed in with others. Yeah, I do know. But thank you. I mean, I guess that's what she wanted to tell us in the letter. And she did remember, so like, props to her. I probably wouldn't have. But yeah, like, my last week was better than the week before, but only just, and I wanted to make it like definitively better. Oh, dearie, isn't this the perfect picnic weather? So what's on your mind? Let's chat. Sometimes it's good to get some exercise and play outside, right? Really up early in hide and seek. It's about to hide well, find hiders, pretty awesome. Sure, we can play some hide and seek. And up some other players. Bonbon! Alright. So a squirrel, a bear, and a bunny. I did math out how many actions I will have to do on average per day to even match what I did last week. And that is 2,678. I've been a very energetic boy. Hello, Poppy. I have found you. Look, you found me. Thought I'd be safe here, but you saw right through my plan. Got 2 hiders left. This section is intense. How will it end? Oh, I've got 15 minutes. This'll... I basically can't lose. Hey, Barbs. How it goes? Hello there, dear. Running into is always a nice surprise. You know what? What do you want? Just want to chat. Think about how forceful those horned beetles are. All kinds I know. They're all such brutes of bugs. I find them so impressive, I simply must have one. Get a horned beetle for me, any kind is fine. I will do my best. I don't know if any horned beetles are... Oh. I think this is a horned beetle. Maria Mustang. Hey, Barbs. I got you your thing. Here you are again. Oh, no, this isn't. I thought this would be a horned beetle. Aren't stag beetles horned beetles? Okay, I guess it will be later. Do we already have a centipede? I don't know. Well... I recognize the sound. I'm pretty sure we've already got a centipede. The centipede. Oh, I see you, Hadman Police Station. No, you found me. You're doing a good job of hiding too. You're an expert seeker. There's one hider left. What a game. I like to imagine that they all just have like walkie-talkies and they're just like talking with each other. And that's how like they know that I've already found Poppy. Like, Poppy can, like, just sent word out, like, right away, just like, yeah, but caught, jigs up. Yeah. It has definitely been a lot harder to exercise with the extra weights. Though, today was harder than other days, because physics. Okay, I'll explain. So, I have 2 sets of ankle weights. I don't have, like, proper wrist weights. So, unless I put some extra padding around my wrists that actually holds, they'll just kind of slide around, which reduces the effective weight of the weights. Because while I'm just holding my arms up, yeah, I'm holding up an extra pound, but the moment I punch, my muscles aren't what's trying to stop that weight anymore. It's now entirely on, basically, the weight itself. Like, there's some strain there, but it's nowhere near as much as if the weight was stable. Today I got them stable, and I did this in the dumbest way, but it worked. So, if it's dumb and it works, I mean, it's still dumb, it just worked. Basically what I did was I took a pair of, like, winter socks that I haven't even worn yet. Took them out of their packaging, wrapped them around my wrists, and then put the weights around my wrists. This worked flawlessly on my left hand. It did not work flawlessly on my right hand. So for my right hand, I had to take all that back off, keep the sock. The sock had to stick around. But I also put on, like, a winter glove, just like a thin winter glove, just to add a little more padding, and that worked. I don't know why it was so much more finicky than the left. Pretty sure my left and right are about the same width around, but I guess not. But, yeah, that made exercising today quite a bit harder. So I didn't actually go as hard today as I need to actually break my weekly record. So I've not decided on this yet. This is still a pretty heavy might. I might do a little more before I lay down today. I still don't know how much longer I'll even be awake because I'm pretty tired. I basically didn't sleep. And when I did lay down to nap, I had a very, like, rough nap, and yeah, me and sleeping don't really mix that well. Which is really a shame, because it was actually, there's Bonbon, it was actually kind of nice when I laid down. No, oh, got me fair and square. Oh, I was totally seat-proof. Nah, I caught ya. He was knew Deary had good instincts, although he lost them inspired by your skills as a seeker. As for the winner, an office chair. Heck yeah. I mean, I don't really need the chair, but I'll gladly take it. Because, I mean, spare chairs? Chairs are pretty expensive, you know. Okay, I was pretty sure Paula wasn't home, I just wanted to check. But yeah, like, when the weight is, like, fixed against you, it's on your muscle to stop it at that point. It's not just physics coming into play. Please, inspired picnic weather is what can I do for you? Let's chat. Cookie asked me a while ago to pick something up, but I got so busy I forgot to deliver it. You're right here. Oh. I do want to go back to working on recreating the Eve map for Sims with Solar Empire. I might do that once I'm done recording here. Because, like, the main issues I'm hitting at the moment is I'm gonna just expand Exordium. Just from my Exordium map, I'm just gonna expand it outward, because that just makes the most sense to me. I don't know where the shipcasters in Exordium connect to, which shouldn't be a two-way connection, but they kind of have to be. Unless I just want to make Exordium a fortress, because that's what it would become. Oh, I could do that. Delivery! Because there's only one actual gate out of Exordium, so it would be a fortress. Though I'm pretty sure with how I designed the map, you can't actually colonize that specific system. right. Astro Metronome. Answer. I'm so happy. Ralph, thank you gift, Ginger Snap. It's a shirt. It's a dog tooth shirt. Hope you like it. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, of course you would. You're a dog. That's how it works. Yeah, it's gonna take some planning, but hey, I delivered it. Enjoying this lovely weather. It's not lovely, but I delivered it. Delivering that package to Cookie. Did the Cookie say anything? That's right. So you got a reward? Good, good. I think she just wanted me to get the reward instead of her. I will say, weather-wise, like IRL, it's not terrible right now. It's very humid, but I'll honestly take the humidity because that humidity is because it's been raining. And we need the rain right now. So, because it's literally a case of, I know I already talked about this, but like the day I was like, yeah, I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. There's no wildfires even in Nova Scotia. One kicked up, and then another kicked up, and then another kicked up, and one of them is still uncontrolled, and it's like, I just had to open my mouth, didn't I? I just had to come out and be like, yeah, nah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Why do I do this? I jinxed my entire province. But, yeah. I also know that, like, nobody probably really even cares that I'm trying to build out the EVE map in Sinso Solar Empire. I just want to do it. I think it would be fun. Like, I don't think if I could build out the entire map that it would be balanced. Because, like, not unless you, like, seriously reduced the amount of resources you intake. Because, like, just from playing around with the default settings on Sins of New Eden, the EVE mod, about 4 to 5 solar systems, and you can basically constantly be building cruisers, frigates, you know, just massing out small ships, and you'll still be gaining resources the whole time. Like, it's kinda ridiculous. So, like, you know, someone starting in, say, Exordium, if there's only one player that starts there, well, they're gonna have 50-some systems easily in their control. Basically meaning they are going to have infinite resources. Like, it will be impossible to run out. I mean, that already happens in just regular maps. So having a map with 8,000-ish solar systems, yeah, that's gonna create some major balance problems. But I don't really care. It looks like Steph. I like that name for you. Mind if I call you that too? Go ahead. Great. So now I'll call you Steph. Man, where am I just not going? Wherever it is, there's now 2 fossils there. I don't know where I'm just not going. But there's still 2 fossils to find around here somewhere. I've been looking. I'm just not seeing them. If you guys see them, as always, yell at me. Yeah, I am not seeing. I'm just not checking behind flowers, because I know that's a place they'll often end up, and I'm just not seeing them. Okay, I guess we got a 2 fossil day. Watch, I'll find a fossil after coming up and identifying stuff. It'll just happen. Me, I found this fossil. What's up, Peck? Yikes! No, it's you. Sneak up on me like that. I didn't. I literally just walked up to you. Penelope! So far walk too. Gouda, what's up? So much at? Super adore this place. I can get all my shopping done at once, and there's so much more time for dancing! It's very fair. Dancing is pretty important. But yeah, like, I'm trying to think of where I would have as, like, start points. Because, like, to my knowledge, with the Sinzo Solar Empire map builder, you can't set, like, specific player starts in this specific spot. Because you can't, like, in the, you know, when matchmaking, you can't just choose a different slot. Like, you will always be slot 1. So it feels like it's just random, which is good. It does kind of ruin what I'd kind of done for the Exordium map, but that's fine. Because I had set, for just it as a standalone, I have it set up with, like, the Empire's, oh geez, basically their section of Exordium has their flavor of pirate just outside of their initial systems. Hey, Steven. Oh jeez. How goes it? I'd hang out in Orkle Yan. I'm mostly just looking around for Paula. She's around here somewhere. Yawning so much. But I had then, like, threw together, like, a match where it was me playing as the Amarians and then one of each of the other empires, and the only one to end up where they belonged was the Minmatar. Am I Steven? Running right into you? Makes me want... Knowing I might run into you in Oracle makes me want to visit here even more. It's very fair. Nah, small chat, Sabes. Look how close you really like. It's gotta be white and green gam plaid, of course. Not everyone wants the Mabel special, no matter how much you keep trying. I'd wear it, though. I mean, I would. But yeah, like, part of me wants to, like... Honestly, and this would be the most unbalanced possible, would be to, basically, rig up everything so that it's a 4-player map, and basically just have a player start in the 4 corners of Nullsec, basically. But then it would be, like, hours upon hours before you even had the chance for your scouts to really encounter enemy scouts. Like, it would be so just empty, and you would just have all the time in the world to build up massive fleets. Though, that in a way would make things... I already have one of these, so I will sell it. That in a way would make things more, more dangerous, because you would really have to be investing in the jump beacons for every system, regardless, because otherwise, well, while your fleet is moving towards where you know someone else will eventually be, you get attacked by one of the others, you know, and there'd be so many possible entry points that, like, you'd kind of have to always be ready to jump your fleet to defend your space. and then hope that your fleet is actually a match for the group that's invading you. So thinking of that sort of thing, Fenris recently announced a change to force projection. Basically, they're going to heavily limit the number of ships that can pass through player-made jump gates. Because their reasoning being, well, you know, big nullsec groups are just... They're able to project just too well. They're able to just have fleets show up places way too easily. And, I mean, they're not wrong. But I can't help but feel... and, like... Yeah, they're not wrong in saying that leads to it being very difficult for small upcoming groups to even hope to compete. Like, they're not wrong about any of that. But I would argue all of that is a symptom of a much larger problem. And that is, without nullsec, you really have no way of making nullsec money. And nullsec money is the best money in the game. Like, even at a low-skilled level, like a Tech 1 cruiser with drones, you could realistically be pulling in, like, 15 to 20 mil every, like, 15 minutes. Yes, for the type of flower you prefer, so a reflection of your personality. Like to try it out? Sure! I like dandelions, because it's the flower I like the most of the ones that you offer. Dandelions represent strength through adversity. Doesn't mean something is troubling you. When I say talk to me if you have something on your mind. I mean, I always have something on my mind. It's just how it works. Except for those times I can just turn my brain completely off. But those aren't the most common. Yeah, like, before, in the great before times, before the introduction of Edencom structures and the Citadel and the engineering complex, the refinery, each of which does a different thing that the POS used to do all on its own, a up-and-coming group could just deploy a POS somewhere and start doing reactions in it and start making almost nullsec money just in some empty pocket of lowsec. And I say almost nullsec money because you still need the nullsec moon goo, which is basically what it's just called. The old moon ores. You would basically just set up a POS with a moon miner at a moon, and it would just passively generate the resource that moon can produce. I had a few moons set up like that because it was just free passive income. Those POSs paid for the fuel costs of my reaction POS, like, as well as each other. Like, they just covered fuel costs. Which was my entire hope of them, that they would bring a return on the investment just passively. Like, and with my setup, I was bringing in like 2 to 3 billion ISK passively a month from one POS. If my corp had been a bit bigger at the time, and we had more interest in doing it, we could have had, you know, 5, 10, 15 POSs all generating this passive income. And, like, it's not like it was something that was ever gonna dry up. Because the reaction material I was producing is one that's basically needed for capital production. Like, as long as two people want each other dead in Eve, capital ships are going to be a reality of things. And, like, everybody wants a capital. Heck, a lot of new players come to Eve wanting to fly capital ships immediately. And boy howdy, with skill injection, you can do just that. You shouldn't, but you can. Gotcha! Ah, money! It really didn't agree with me, but got it anyway. Like, this would have been easy passive income and could have led to 30, 40, 50 billion ISK a month being generated for a small corp. Now, why is that important? Well, that basically means after like 2 months of generation, whether we could build them or not, we could start buying Titans. We could be buying super carriers. We could be buying fleets of dreadnoughts and carriers. We could buy the ships to project force. It also would have made expensive fleets, like a Rooks and Kings style Golden Fleet of Navy Apocalypse battleships backed up by very expensive Guardians, it would have made that financially viable to just run with a full ship replacement program in place, so no one would have had to care about losing their ships. Like, but that's all gone now. The POS can't do that anymore. Like, I don't even think you can buy the blueprints for building POSes anymore. You can still deploy them if you have them, and some faction POSes have literally no longer an estimated value because they are so rare, because presumably, at least I haven't seen any way of building them anymore. They are now collector's items. Like, Fenris clearly wants to do away with the POS. And I know I'm a bit tinfoil hatty on this, but Muffin! It's some hummus safe, but I feel like there's something missing. What it needs is some apple juice. What do you think I should add? I feel like somewhere around here. That's an interesting idea. I'm gonna try it. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of hummus with apple juice, so I've barely even had hummus. It's not something that interests me very much, food-wise. Like, I've tried it a few times, it's just not something that, like, flavor-wise really hooks me. But yeah, a big part of the change towards the bigger structures came from the CSM, the Council of Stellar Management, which is a EVE player elected group of players that basically directly talk with Fenris, at the time CCP. Well, the majority of these people were members of the biggest alliances who really didn't like having smaller groups be a threat to them. So they pushed so those smaller groups could never be a threat to them again. Oh, there's a fossil. What did I say? I knew I'd find them after I'd already identified stuff. Moth. I do not wish to scare off the moth. I don't want to catch it either. I'm being a bit lazy. That is a bit tinfoil hatty. I have no proof of this, but it sure feels like that's what happened. Like, because all that change did was push the smallest powers out of Nullsec, gave larger powers easier force projection because they were the only ones that could deploy citadels en masse. Like, it just kind of ruined the game in a way, at least as far as like Nullsec and Dreams of Sovereignty and, you know, stuff that the game is kind of built on marketing. You just can't reliably do anymore. Because large groups like Test Alliance, Pandemic Legion, Goon Swarm, Brave, you know, all these large groups would rather you just come to their space to fight them, but don't you dare take any of it. It's their space. They'll fight amongst each other, and, you know, even that, honestly, is mostly just formality at this point. There's not a huge amount of sovereignty changes that go on. Like, it's... Nullsec has become safe. And a good part of that is just nobody can realistically compete anymore. Which is just annoying and sad. Which I feel is also partially why I like the Sinzua Solar Empire EVE mod so much, because it lets me, you know, envision, hey, I get to take over parts of New Eden. Something I will never get to do in-game. I can't say never, but it's highly unlikely I would ever, yeah, I'm gonna sell the orange tide. I'm gonna sell the orange chair too. It's highly unlikely I will ever get to take over any wallpaper. This is wallpaper. Sloppy wall? No. Please don't. You shouldn't. If you say so, I'll pass. It's literally called sloppy wall. Can I buy at least one thing today? There's so much here. I know. Anything but the sloppy wall. Like, it's literally sloppy wall. Why would you want sloppy wall, Pinky? That doesn't fit you in the slightest. I see this. Bam. But yeah, I've rambled way too much about EVE today, but that's gonna mark the end of today. I'm gonna try and not yap about EVE tomorrow. I'm gonna try and actually find something interesting to talk about that's not EVE Online. That is one of those games that I have kind of lived, though. Like, I was playing Phantasy Star Online 2 basically around the same time that I was playing EVE, literally about the same years. So, I mean, I played PSO2 even longer. But, yeah. That's going to be it for today. I thank you all very much for watching and putting up with me rambling about EVE Online yet again. And hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. See you all then.